Hey everyone, Ken Mason from Whispering Souls. So every once in a while, I like to, discuss topics or bring up something that people discussed with me, and I just kind of figure that perhaps every Tuesday night I'll be doing this. Just coming in with, maybe you have questions and people give me, and I thought about it for a while, so I just would broadcast it on one of these videos. So so today I want to talk about the process of dying. Because a lot of people ask me that. I get a lot of past loved ones in my reads. Almost every read, there's past loved one that comes in, they talk, and so forth. So one of the things is the process of dying is what happens when we actually die. You know, does somebody actually come and get us? Does somebody help us? Um, and and there's also the thought of why is the people who always come to get us is always the maternal side and never the paternal side. So let's get a look at just the process. So we are connected together from the spiritual body to the uh, physical body by what we call spiritual hook. So some people call them the silver cord. Some people call them just I'm not sure. Anyway, so it's called the silver cord. But basically, what it is the hook between us and the spiritual body, which never leaves us until it's time to die. Obviously, you'll hear some people talk about it. When they dream about having a silver cord on them. But one of the things that I always refer to it is that the silver cord is our power source. It's to my belief, from what I'm told, I'm sure all the scientist people won't believe me, but there's energy that comes through that cord that handles our energy, our electrical system, gets our the heart beating to get our blood going through the body, the brain going. And they always say that the one thing that when you die, it's because your heart stops beating. Um, and to me, you stop beating because you don't have the energy to get it run anymore. So to me, that's the whole system. We have the spiritual body that's connected to our physical body through this hook, which generates all the electrical system, and it also generates all our our spiritual part of us, our how we communicate, the communications between the spirit world and us. All that's through this hook. It is just that way that I think we are built. But then we kind of discuss, well, how do we pass? So spiritually, what happens is that um, we somebody comes and they cut that cord for our death. Um, and almost everybody's ever heard the term or this kind of what everybody says. Oh, mom's here, or they're talking to mom or dad, and then all of a sudden they pass away 5 minutes later. And this is because somebody's come down and cut the cord to allow them to go back to the other world. Yeah. But why is it only the maternal people that come and get us? Well, if you have to think about it this way, if we're all in that spiritual hook, we are born from our mothers, and our mothers are born from their mothers, who are born from their uh, grandparents and whatnot. So when we are conceived and we grow the 9 months within them, we generate that hook to them. Not to anybody else, but to them. Um, Not the same hook. It's a huge hook that's on us that we communicate between her and us, her and you, whoever's the child. We still have our own hook between our spiritual bodies and the physical body. But because we are born from that maternal line, that is why we get the maternal people to come and get us. We are in that maternal line. We're born in that maternal line. The father is born in his maternal line, but it's not the same line. He's born beneath his mother, and she's born beneath her mother, but they're different lines. So he cannot come and get you because he's not connected to that line. It's the same as you have the 9 months in your mother where you get to talk to her all the time. Have some weird food cravings and whatnot, which are basically, the child remembering what it had in a past life and wanting to eat that in this life before they're born, which causes the cravings, crazy cravings. But in the end, when the child is born, the father has to make the effort to be connected to the child. He has no spiritual connection to that child at this point. So he's got to hold the child, he's got to give it love, the child's got to accept him, and then when that's done, then they create a minor hook. The mother has the major hook. So in the process of dying, as you die, we have another process when we die is that we usually leave our bodies before we die. So again, you'll hear people say, months or whatnot, then they'll kind of go into a comatose stage or Alzheimer's, or their eyes will close and then they'll pass away 5 minutes later or whatnot. That whole process, what happens there is you leave your body and you wait for that maternal person to come and get you. And typically what you do when you leave your body is you start going around saying goodbye to everyone. And some people can feel that, some people can't. But that's typically what happens. And then the maternal person will come down and they'll cut the cord. And once that happens, the maternal person brings the deceased person over to the other side and they have a big party. It's the welcome home. So, the processing isn't really a complicated thing. And I know, throughout the whole world in different ways people look at death and this and that. And, some people, especially in the heavy religion believes that there's, you have to be judged after you pass and then you decide to go to hell or not. What I've been told from the spirits that I've talked to is that just doesn't exist. At least not at this point. Perhaps, maybe we have to go into different levels or whatnot, but at this point in time, all I hear is you cross over, you're greeted by somebody, you go to your family, and then you have a big party. So there's no huge judgment going on. So that's basically the whole process of our passing, the little things that are attached to it. Again, this really is the reason why, we have maternal people that pass us, not paternal people. It's just the lines that we're born in and just the lines that we have our spiritual connections to. Because even at this point, I'm still connected spiritually to my grandmother, my great-grandmother, and a great-great-grandmother, and all along that line. I'm still connected to them. And those are the ones that can come get me if there's nobody that has passed between them. In that case, if I passed and my mother's alive, then it would be my grandmother who would come and get me. If she's still alive, then it would be my great-grandmother who would come get me. It's just whoever is the first one who's passed that would come and get us. Anyway, so I hope that makes sense. If you have any suggestions for any talks like this, or if you just leave a comment below and just I'll pick up on it, and every once in a while I'll just pop up another one, and like I said, if it's of interest to you and you're curious about it, just drop it in as a comment, and I'll see if I can include it. And maybe in one of these episodes, I'll do 2 or 3 of them if they're short. So, again, thank you for watching and being part of my group. So we'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.